We were delighted to have opened our new ward block in December 2021, which has replaced the 1940s hutted wards, which have served us well for many years. This is a purpose-built, state-of-the-art facility designed in a dementia-friendly way to provide a purpose-built environment for frail older people admitted to hospital. None of this could have been achieved without the £23.6 million government funding.
I work alongside the matron for frailty and ambulatory care. So I've been in post for 12 months. We may be a small trust comparatively, but the ambitions we have for the service are huge, and we're going to keep pushing forward to try and achieve them.
It's well known that large numbers of patients presenting to the emergency department are older and frail, and this resource will enable us to provide high quality care in a purpose-built environment to improve both quality of care for older patients but also to improve outcomes for older patients.
These patients have quite unique needs. They require input from a broad range and a really interlinked service of different disciplines. Frail patients don't do well in an acute hospital setting. The best place for them to be is out in the community, recovering in a situation they know. So our real focus is to try and get these patients through the hospital system, treat them as effectively and quickly as possible, and get them home with the right care and support for them to recover at home and to stay at home.
It has been a challenge since it opened due to the impacts of COVID, as the wards were used to cohort COVID patients at the beginning, but we have the vision for how they are going to be used in the future. We named the wards after hills of Herefordshire, having run out of rivers, and the hills that were chosen were Dinmore, Ashgrove and Garway. Dinmore ward is our top floor ward, which is an orthogeriatric trauma unit, which has enabled us to totally redesign the care and pathway for patients presenting to the hospital aged over 60 with a fractured femur. Garway is our middle floor ward, comprises our 16-bedded frailty assessment unit and will be the base for our soon-to-be opened frailty SDEC area, which is same-day emergency care. And this will enable even more patients to be seen, assessed by specialists and discharged to prevent an unnecessary hospital admission. Ashgrove ward is our ground floor ward, which is a longer stay ward, and the wonderful thing about Ashgrove shows the importance of clinicians being involved in the design of these wards. So we were able to incorporate a relatives room, which provides us with a non-clinical area to have private, often sensitive discussions with both patients and relatives. We have a dementia resource room, which is a less clinical area with comfortable seating and activities to engage and stimulate patients with dementia. And we also have access to our soon-to-be-built dementia-friendly garden, which will enable outside space for patients and relatives. Patients benefit because they are being looked after in a purpose-built unit and cared for by staff who have interest and training in the management of frailer older people.
The feedback we've had from patients from the frailty wards is usually that they have a very different feel. The response they get from us and from our teams, we talk to them more about their own individual goals, what's important to them, where they want to be and what they want to happen further forward in their care. It's an approach that takes into them as a whole person rather than acute medical care, which can often be very focused on the issue at hand. We take a much broader approach, and the feedback is often that patients feel quite valued and they feel that actually we are addressing what might be less obvious problems but are actually a really big issue for them.
As a geriatrician, the fact that we have been given this purpose-built facility for the care of frailer older people shows the value that the Trust places on ensuring that they get the best possible care.
I'd mostly like to give a big thank out to the volunteer service who've been amazing, and also the wider Trust who really stepped in and helped us move into the new frailty block. There was a large project team that had multiple staff members involved with, and a special shout out to all staff involved, especially the estates team. I'd also like to give a really big thank you to the frailty team themselves. They've taken on a massive challenge. They have been really up for looking at new ways of working, developing a new service and really changing the way we approach things to provide the best service we can, and they're really dedicated and passionate about the care of frail people.